Okay, so we want to differentiate this function capital F of y equals this, okay? And from the previous class, what we did was what? Use product rule first and then simplify, okay? So now I let you guys to try to follow you and simplify at first, then differentiate, okay? So I'm going to ask some of you guys and see what you have already done for the question, okay? So how do you follow? Like this, right? So 1 over y squared times by y, we get 1 over y, right? Everybody agree with this? Okay. And 1 over y squared times by 5 times y to the cube.
It's 5y to the cube over y squared.
Yeah. 5y to the cube divided by y squared give us y, right? And then negative 3 over y to the fourth power times by y, which is y over 1. Okay? So these two terms multiplied together give us negative what? 3 over y to the cube, yeah, right, y third, okay, very good. And then negative 3 times a positive 5 give us negative what? 15. And then 1 over y to the fourth times y to the cube actually is 1 over y, right? Okay, well, before we do the differentiation, is there any like terms we can combine? Any like terms? 1 over y, negative 15 over y, are these two like terms? Yes or no? Yes, they are. Okay, they're like terms. So, we're going to have what? A 5y. Okay, there's no like term with 5y. Okay, 1 over y minus 15 over y give us what? Negative 14 over y, which is 14 times by 1 over y, right? This term, like terms, right? And then the last term is what? Negative 3 over what? Y to the cube, right? So once we follow, we should get this answer. But we're not done yet. We want to differentiate capital F. Okay? How? 5y's derivative with respect to y is 5. Okay? Oh, minus 14 times 1 over y. How to differentiate 1 over y? Remember,
Make that power function.
yes, make it to be a power function. So, negative 14, 1 over y equals y to the negative 1's power, right? Negative 3 times by what? Y to the what? Negative 3's power, right? Negative 3. Alright, so 5y's derivative is 5, and then the derivative of negative 14 times by y to the negative 1. Negative 14 is still negative 14. This is constant c. We still copy that. What is the derivative of y to the negative 1's power? Y to the n's power. N is negative 1, right? Equals, remember the power rule?
1 to the negative second.
Yes. N, which is negative 1, times by x to the y to the what? N minus 1. So, negative 1 minus 1 give us what? Negative 2. So actually it equals negative y to the negative square, right? So 1 over y's derivative equals what? Oh, here. Y to the negative 1's derivative equals negative y to the negative square. So I'm going to write it here, okay? Negative y to the negative square, right? And then the derivative of this term, negative 3 is still negative 3, right? What is the derivative of y to the negative 3? Negative 3y to the negative what? 4. Okay, because n is negative 3, right? Minus 1 give us negative 4. So times by, this negative 3 comes from here. Y to the negative 3's derivative equals negative 3y to the y to the negative 4, right? So negative 3y to the negative 4. Right? Alright, so let's simplify. Okay, simplify. 5. Negative 14 times by negative positive 14y to the negative square, right? Negative 3 times by negative 3 give us what? Positive 9, y to the negative 4, right? Okay, so you may leave your answer like this, okay? Or some of you guys do not want to keep the negative exponent, okay? What can we write? One more step. y plus 5 plus what? 14 over y squared plus 9 over y to the what? 4th power. Either way, I consider both of them they're right. I just don't know in your web sign they prefer you type in which answer. Okay, so and then guys, let's compare this answer and then the answer we did last time. Remember, this is the answer from what? We differentiate first, then simplify, right? So we had a lot of calculations. Eventually we get this, right? Is this answer the same as this answer? Yes or no? It's the same. See? So in your exam, okay, if you're asking to differentiate a function, okay, your method may not be unique, okay. Some of you guys use this method, some of you guys use that method. Simplify first, then differentiate. Or differentiate first, then simplify. You may not have the same way to do the question, but answer should be what? The same, okay. So that's good for the question A, everybody? Alright, so question C. This one, I ask you to use both methods to do it, okay? Remember, the first method, if we consider it is what? Use quotient rule directly. The second method is what? Simplify first, then differentiate, okay? Which method do you feel is more simpler? Have you tried?
Yeah.
Second method, right? Simplify, just like this question. Follow first, and then differentiate, okay? Same thing for this problem, okay? If we use method 2, okay, it's going to be easier, okay? It's going to be easier. But let's try both methods, okay? I'll show you both methods quickly here, okay? So y equals s minus square root of x over s squared. This is in the way of a quotient, right? Quotient. We have a numerator. Where's my weapon? What is the numerator? S minus square root of s. This is f. Consider this is f. S squared, consider this is g, right? So this is f over g, right? F over g. Okay. So quotient rule is telling us this, right? This is the formula for quotient rule. Okay. So make sure on the top we have a subtraction. Also, the order makes sense. Okay, matters. We have to differentiate the numerator function f first, then times by g minus f times by g prime. Well, for the product, does order matters? Doesn't matter. You can do this product plus this product, or you can compute this product first and then plus by this. Addition satisfies commutative rule, but subtraction does not. Okay, so let's use this quotient rule to do the derivative. Okay, so differentiate y. So y prime equals, by quotient rule give us what? On the bottom we should have what? G square, which is s square, should be s to the what? 4th power, right? Then we differentiate f, which is the derivative of s minus square root of s, derivative, okay? Multiply by what? G, what is g? S square minus f times by g prime. What is the derivative of s squared?
2s.
2s. Right? Alright, so we haven't completed this derivative yet. Okay, so let's differentiate this. What is s derivative with respect to itself? 1. What is square root of s derivative?
Negative 3 half. Oh, sorry.
S equals square root of s equals s to the 1/2 power. Yeah, so this is n 1/2. S times n minus 1. 1/2 minus 1. Negative 1/2, right? So this is 1/2 times by 1 over s to the positive 1/2, right? This equals 1/2 times by 1 over. What is s to the 1/2 power? Square root of s, right? So eventually, 1/2 times by 1 over this gives us 1 over 2 times square root of s. Oh, I need you to remember this conclusion. Later, what is square root of s? 1 over 2 times square root of s. Remember this. Okay, remember it. Alright, so square root of s derivative equals 1 over 2 times square root of s times by s squared minus, okay, minus, we have s minus square root of s times 2s, right? So I'm going to still copy that, okay? S,
I have a question. Why isn't the derivative 1/2 of s to the negative 1/2 power? That.
yeah, it is.
Those are the same number.
I'm just simplify this. Because s to the negative 1/2 equals 1 over s to the positive 1/2. S to the positive 1/2 is square root of s. So that's how we get this.
Okay.
It is, okay? So I'm going to copy everything on the top and then divide by what? S to the first power. But see, this is really, every term has an s, right? So, and we need to simplify, right? Simplify. So what we can do, guys? S squared, 2s, s to the fourth. Every term has an s. What do? Cancel out 1s. Okay? Then, let's keep on simplify, okay? Simplify. Now we have this s left. Distribute. We have this 2. Distribute. So, what can we have? What is s times 1? S. What is 1 over 2?
S over,
Square root of s times by s.
so it'll be S over 2 over root
Yeah,
of S.
yeah. So s over 2 square root of s, we'll talk about this, in the next line, okay, next step. Okay, and then we have a 2 times s minus negative 2s. Negative, negative, positive. Square root of s times 2 plus 2 square root of s divided by s to the cube. You guys, are we on the same page? Simon? Okay. And then see, now we have a s negative 2s. Are they like terms? Yes, they are. So combine them, give us what? Negative s. S divided by square root of s, give us what? Square root of s over 2, right? Yeah, because s over square root of s give us square root of s, and negative 1/2, right? And plus what? 2 times square root of s divided by what? S to the cube. Okay, so, do you have any like terms? Do you see any like terms? You see that? Are they like terms? Negative 1/2.
So we can double 1/2.
Yeah, so we can have a negative 1/2 plus 2 give us what? Positive 3 over 2 times square root of s over what? S to the cube. Okay? Alright, if we want to write for one more step, we can write it like this. Negative s over s to the cube plus 3 over half square root of s over s to the what? Cube. Can we? Splitting? Okay? Negative s over s to the cube. 3 halves square root of s over s to the cube. Okay? And then can we simplify these two terms? Can we? What is s over s to the cube?
1 over S to the second.
And then plus 3 over 2. This is square root of s is s what? 1/2 divided by s to the 3. Keep the same as 1/2 minus 3 give us what? Negative 5 over 2. Okay? Well, this one you can rewrite this as negative what?
S.
S to the, yeah. Negative s to the negative 2 plus 3 over 2 s to the what? Negative 5 over 2. You got it?
I just want to know how you have a plus sign. That's the only thing. Like everything else. Yeah.
Where this plus sign?
Yeah.
Because negative 1/2 plus 2. Oh, give us 3 over 2, right? That's how we get a positive 3 over 2. Do you like this method to differentiate? This is too complicated. No! Just like the one we did from the question A, we differentiate by using the product rule directly and simplify. No, forget about that, okay? So that's why I like you to try both methods, and then your exam, choose an easier way to do it, okay? So differentiate this, y. Y equals s minus square root of s over s squared. Differentiate this. What is the second method? Simplify this first, and then differentiate, okay? So how do you simplify this? S minus square root of s over s squared. What do you do at the first? Splitting, right? So s over s squared minus square root of s over s squared. What do you think? Easy, right? This will give us 1 over s minus what? This is s 1/2 divided by s squared, right? So 1 over s, or s to the negative 1 power, right? Minus s to the what? What is 1/2 minus 2? Negative 3 over 2. You guys? Grant?
I added 20 extra steps onto it, but I got the right answer. So,
Okay. So, everybody, are we on the same page? So far, so good? This is simplify y first. There are only two terms, power terms, right? So how to differentiate y? What is y to the negative 1's powers derivative? Negative s to the negative 2, right? Okay. All right. Minus s to the negative 3 over 2's derivative, right? A is negative 3 over 2 times by s, n minus 1. What is 3/2 minus 1? 5 over 2. Okay, so I'm going to copy this negative what? 3 over 2 times by s to the negative 5 over 2, right? And simplify. Negative s, negative 2, minus minus become what? Plus, signing, you see, plus 3 over 2 s to what? Negative 5 over 2. Let me see, why this is... Yep. Oh, here. I was like, okay, so let's check. This is the answer we get from the second method. It is here. I was like, why it looks different? This is the answer we get from the first method. Are they the same? They are. Which method do you want to choose? The second one, simplify. Okay, so that's why I want you to compare. What's up?
in my infinite wisdom, I decided that the best thing to do was, when I recognized, I thought, okay, I'll turn it into a power thing, so if you can scroll up to the problem itself, I decided that I needed to take s to the negative 1/2 up immediately, and so and then I had to use the product rule. And so I added like 10 extra steps on, because what it is, s minus the root of s times s to the negative. It cleared the fractions, but it added like 10.
I know.
We got there.
You got there. See? You have a different way to do it.
No, I just did the wrong way.
But you got a final answer, right? Correct answer. But more steps, right? More steps. So I would suggest that when we encounter a question for us to differentiate, make sure we really know which way is the best way, okay? Because now we're starting to accumulate learning more rules, okay? See, this one, a quotient rule, product rule. Don't look at it, oh, this is by using quotient rule directly. See, this is like a quotient way, so we do it. Sometimes we have to do a little bit of simplification before differentiation, okay? All right, so these are two questions, okay? And then we have one more question from section 3.2, and then we can jump on to section 3.3, okay? All right, so this is a wrap-up question from section 3.2. Find an equation of the tangent line to the curve at a specific point, okay? So, simple example, we have a curve. How to find an equation of a tangent line tangent to this curve at this given point?
We use the definition.
Yes. Well,
Definition right at the beginning.
okay. So, in order to find an equation of a tangent line, well, tangent line is a straight line, okay? We need one point on it. Also, we need to know what? The slope of the line, right? We learned this from section 2728, okay? How to find the slope of a straight line? It is a derivative of the function, okay, at when x equals what? 0, okay? So if this is a and b, okay, in general, if this is a and b, I'm going to write this in general, okay? So in general, we have 1 point, we know 1 point on a straight line. We need to know the slope of straight line, okay? How to find it out? By differentiate the function and evaluate the derivative at when x equals what? A. So f prime of a. Okay. So now in this question, what is a value? What is a given point? 0, 1/2, right? So 0 is a, 1/2 is b. So we know a and b. Okay. So later, how can we write down the line of the equation? Remember the point, slope, form. What is that? Y minus b equals slope m, which is f prime of a, times by x minus a. This is the point slope form. We can use the form to write down the equation of the line, right? So far in this question, okay, what do we know already? Do we know the given point, a and b? Yes or no? Yes. We only need to figure out what? The slope of this straight line, right? How? Differentiate at first, okay? So we're going to differentiate the y, okay, differentiate the function at the first. So y prime. So far we learned definition, we learned quotient rule, we learned product rule, we learned many rules. Okay, yes, those many rules. We can use whatever rules are to help us to solve the problem. How to differentiate this thing? Which rule should we use?
You can do quotient rule if you want to.
Quotient rule, yes. So far we have quotient rule. So this is f, this is g. Okay. So on the bottom we have 1 plus e to the x g squared. Right. On the top we should do what? F's derivative times by g 1 plus e to the x. Okay. I write it down specifically because some of you guys prefer to differentiate directly. Oh, 1 plus x derivative is 1. Sometimes if you don't write it down, you forget, okay? So I am going to make sure this writing looks more standard, okay? Minus f, 1 plus x times g prime, 1 plus e to the x derivative with respect to x, okay? You guys, can you follow me, everybody? Alright, so 1 plus x derivative with respect to x, 1 is a constant, derivative is 0, 1, yes, times 1 plus e to the x minus 1 plus x. What is 1 plus e to the x derivative?
E to the x.
E to the x. Because constant derivative is 0, e to the x derivative is what? E to the x, right? And then divide by 1 plus e to the x to the square. Can we simplify a little bit? This is 1 plus e to the x, okay, minus what? Distribute e to the x minus what? X times e to the x, right? And then 1 plus e to the x square. Everybody? Like terms? Yes. So y prime equals 1 minus x times e to the x divided by 1 plus e to the x square. But if this is a slope, no. Okay? So the slope of the line m will equals the derivative of the function when x equals what? A, which is 0. Okay? So y prime, we use a vertical line, means such that, okay, or at when x equals 0. Okay, so now we are going to plug in x by 0, okay, into this conclusion, okay. So it's going to be 1 minus 0 times e to the 0 divided by 1 plus e to the 0 to the square. right?
0. 1/4.
See? Let's do this in order. E to the 0 is 1. 0 times 1 is 0. But 1 minus 0 is 1. On the bottom, what is e to the 0? 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 squared is what? 4. 1/4. Right? So we know the slope. We know the one given point. How to write down the equation of the line, everyone. So the tangent line is going to be y minus b. Where is the b? What is b? 1/2, right? Equals m 1/4 times by x minus what? What is a value? 0, right? Okay, so let's simplify. Y minus y 1/2 equals x minus 0 is x, so 1/4 x, right? And I'm going to plus 1/2 from both sides. So eventually, the tangent line, y should equals 1/4 x plus what? 1/2. Answer.